I'm Nelson Pereira from bnetTV. Welcome to 4G World in Chicago 2011. And with us is Andy Capener from Cisco Systems. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
You know, I always think of Cisco as the factor of IP infrastructure. No matter if you're doing wireless, backhaul, carrier, everything, eventually you've got to hit a Cisco router.
That's right. I think that's the right way to think of us.
And being the industry changing so much in terms of data communication, the mobile industry, what is now the new role that Cisco is playing in this ecosystem?
Yeah, I think that's a great question because the industry is changing so much, the ecosystem is changing so much, it's actually moving more towards what we do at Cisco.
Right.
So when we look at the challenges in the mobile market with mobile operators, we all know that there are more devices coming on the network, generating more traffic, more data traffic, and the operators have an opportunity with that and challenges with that. The opportunities, of course, are new service opportunities, new business models that they can pursue, extended relationships with their consumers. The challenges really revolves around this data deluge, so much traffic coming through their network. So at Cisco, we look at that challenge and opportunity and how we can best address it and help them succeed in that market.
And coming to think about it, Cisco has been doing data manipulation since the beginning before mobile took off.
Right.
So I'm dealing with a company that not only has been there from the beginning, but you are the founders of data movement in terms of how to manipulate data and move it across different networks. Having said that, I can see that Cisco is going to be pulling the boundaries in terms of wireless communication beyond what it is today. And without the influence of Cisco Communications or Cisco Systems, you cannot see the industry move forward because you guys are going to be playing pretty much the larger role.
Yeah, it's very interesting because we were very lucky to be a major part of we'll say one of the initial waves of the internet being deployed, and we're in a continual evolution, but in this next wave of the internet. And we know that this is going to be a more mobile internet.
Yes.
It's going to be a more visual internet. It's going to be a more virtual internet. So when we look at the solutions that we provide, we kind of measure against these things. So as you noted, mobility is becoming a big issue. Everybody is, as we see, is connecting through different devices with the smartphones, the tablets, laptops, and they're consuming all this data. And a lot of it is video data.
Correct.
So when we look at that evolution of the internet, when we look at the evolution of the operators' business models, what we try to inject into their networks and into their business architecture is a couple of attributes. And these are things you will have heard of, but this is how we kind of measure everything that we do. We look to monetize the services and monetize the network they have. We look to optimize the services. We look to address the significant video demand, and then do all of that while enhancing the subscriber experience. So that, of course, as you would expect from us, creates an acronym, which is MOVE, Monetize, Optimize, Video Experience. So when we work with the customers, we really look at how we can move their business and move their networks.
Have the provider actually requested more from Cisco in terms of what they can do with the current infrastructure? In other words, has the demand actually increased as the evolution of 4G has increased with it?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's really incredible. It's a lot of fun to be in this space right now because the demand is increasing and how people are using the services is changing. So it's interesting because we don't provide, for example, macro cellular radio networks, right? And that's a big part of mobility. We do provide significant Wi-Fi capabilities and femto capabilities. But sometimes when people look at Cisco, they don't think of us as necessarily mobility because we don't have that big macro cellular. But what's really interesting is the market has evolved and has changed. It is really moving towards what we do. So we talked about that. It's moving towards being a more of an internet experience.
Correct.
And all those other things we talked about, the more mobile, visual, and virtual. So customers definitely, we've been very gratified to work with them because they are coming to us. They know that what we provide, the IP technology, the intelligent networks, the high-performing networks, that this is what they need in this evolving and changing world.
Improving the quality of services they're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's really about delivering and managing that subscriber experience. And as we all know as consumers, we have high expectations right now. We want to be connected anytime, anywhere. All those things we've talked about for years, and the operators are now delivering it, and it's now just really focused on doing that in the best way possible.
You know, and from what I see, actually, like you said, the cell tower in relation to everything else, where Cisco has existed before was not at the cell tower or anywhere, but now routing and switching and everything else is moving to the towers, into the communication rooms, the distribution center, the edge area of the cell communication side. So now Cisco is just not playing an office environment or a conceal area. It's actually pushing its boundaries to right to the edge, right next to the cell tower, to move data at a faster rate.
That's right. I mean, it's a big part of what we do. If you look at the holistic solution that we provide, it really is from the cloud to the core network, and that, you know, can be broken into different pieces. We do like packet core, mobile backhauls. I mentioned service provider Wi-Fi solutions, femto solutions. It's very holistic, and it really is. It really is from out to the cell site, clear through into the services.
And as you know, we're having a large event here on backhaul architecture, and it's great to see Cisco systems involved in this as well, because they are part of the backhaul architecture now in terms of MPLS-TP solution and so on. And I do follow you guys actually a lot, because you are one of my favorite vendors, and I have to tell you, you guys are pushing the envelope.
Very good. Thank you so much.
And I do thank you so much for spending time with us today.
Yeah, very good. Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun.
And as always, Cisco Systems always will be here with us, and it will always be a part of this infrastructure as LTE and 4G moves on. And this is Nelson Pereira from bnetTV at the 4G World in Chicago 2011. Thank you.